Hi, my name is Lindsay McGee and I am the Waiver Manager at the Bureau of Developmental Services, BDS. These recorded training sessions are intended to provide information on each service available on the Developmental Disabilities, DD Waiver, Acquired Brain Disorder, ABD Waiver, and the In-Home Supports, IHS Waiver. In this session, we will be discussing individual goods and services. We will describe the service, talk about a scenario, and then provide any additional information that may be important to know about the service. The information in this session is applicable to the Developmental Disability Waiver, the Acquired Brain Disorder Waiver, and the In-Home Supports Waiver. How do the DD, ABD, and IHS waivers define individual goods and services? Individual goods and services include services, equipment, or supplies that address an identified need in an individual's service agreement, including improving and maintaining the individual's opportunities for full membership in the community. So what does this mean and how does this help me achieve my goals? Individual goods and services are services, equipment, or supplies that meet a need identified in an individual service agreement and meet one of the following requirements. The item or service would decrease the need for other Medicaid services, promote inclusion in the community, or increase the individual's safety in the home environment. In addition, the individual and their family does not have the funds to purchase the item, or the service is not available through other sources. Now we will walk through a fictional scenario of an individual who is accessing individual goods and services. Carl is a 22-year-old man with a developmental disability. He lives independently in a small apartment in a suburban neighborhood. Carl has a part-time job at a local grocery store and enjoys participating in his community in ways such as volunteering at the local animal shelter and attending social events at the community center. However, Carl has expressed a desire to improve his social skills and increase his participation in community involvement. His service agreement identifies these goals and outlines the need for specific services, equipment, or supplies to help him achieve full membership in the community. So how does Carl access and use individual goods and services? Carl's service coordinator works with him to determine the needed services and equipment to achieve his goals. They agree on two key supports: a specialized driving training program and a monthly bus pass for transportation while he learns to drive. His service coordinator assists Carl in applying for these services, including all supports are included in his service agreement. Carl's service agreement will outline accessing individual goods and services for the specialized driving training program, and he will also access the non-medical transportation waiver service for the bus pass. So what is the outcome of this service for Carl? After 6 months of using these services, Carl feels confident in his driving ability and will be taking the test to obtain his license. The monthly bus pass allowed him to attend community events, participate in group activities, and volunteer more often. Carl has been saving to purchase a vehicle of his own and will no longer require the bus pass once he obtains his own vehicle. Overall, these supports have helped Carl achieve greater independence, improve his quality of life, and develop a sense of belonging in his community. Lastly, we will discuss any potential service limits and requirements that must be included in the individual service agreement. We will also discuss if this service may be provided remotely or while in acute care. When a service can be offered remotely, it means you don't have to be physically present at a specific location to use it. When services can be accessed in acute care, it means that individuals who are in a hospital or another urgent care type facility can still receive these important services. When waivered services have limits, it means there are specific restrictions or caps on the type, amount, or cost of services that can be provided under a waiver program. There is a service limit for individual goods and services. This service has an annual limit of $1,500. However, this limit is referred to as a soft limit. This means that it can be increased with prior approval from BDS. Individual goods and services may be provided remotely, and this service may also be provided in an acute care setting. For service agreement requirements, the item or service must be identified as necessary in the individual service agreement. A goal related to the use of the item or service should be available in the service agreement or amendment to the service agreement if this item was not included in the original document. Documentation related to the use of the item should be available for review in monthly notes. This item should also have an anticipated shelf life. The frequency of purchase would be contingent upon the continued need of the item and the item's ability to continue to meet that need. Thank you. If you have any additional questions about individual goods and services, please email bds@dhhs.nh.gov.